Texas 95.7, the Armadillo. My microphone will not stay forward. And then it just keeps wanting to fall backwards. In the studio with Lehman Wall and Casey Hooper with her turkey call.
It sounds like we need some WD-40 in here this morning.
Plugging them in. It's a very silent thing.
WRCA.
Ladies and gentlemen, the turkey call has made its appearance.
It's that time of year.
It's the turkey call and WRCA, folks.
That's right.
Any turkey ranches out there for your? You all represent any turkey ranches?
Turkey track.
Great rodeo up in the Green Country Classic up in Claremore. Got the L. Claremore, Oklahoma, over the weekend. How was it up there? Casey, you went, right? How was it? You have good weather and all that
Oh my gosh,
stuff?
it was fluorescent. By the time I hit Sayre, I was thinking my Ray-Bans were not hitting it. It was so pretty.
Lehman, will you start writing these times down so we can go back later? It'd make it a lot easier to cut these out for a great hits at the end of the year.
Did I cuss? No. Fluorescent. Is that not a word?
That's a big word for Tuesday morning.
Well, I'm just being...
Or whenever you're listening to us.
This is 1 minute into week 3 of WRCA.
It was very bright and very pretty. Country looks good.
Now they're inside though. Is that right? Did I remember that right?
Yes, sir.
That he told us last week it was inside. Okay, so they don't have to worry too much about if it rains or something like that.
No. We've been there when it snowed and iced and tornado warnings and tornadoes outside. So yes. No, it was a great crowd. That committee did a very, very good job. There was a big crowd on Friday, big crowd on Saturday. One of our teams that have competed with us for years, Armitage Ranch, Mike Armitage and his family got honored with the Heritage Award, which is really neat, that Green Country Classic, that their committee does that. So, Lester and Shannon and Barbie and Jerry, that's really neat that you guys do that. So you could tell it was the first rodeo for the stock contractor because Ozark brought some horses that bucked. It was a consistent group.
They've been in hibernation for the last few months.
Yeah, and they were all stomping rattlesnakes, and it got really, really cool. And I'm sure the guys are like, "Yeah, Casey, whatever," because I'm feeling it this morning.
Cool if you're on it.
No, we had some pretty interesting wrecks, but they all bucked. I mean, it was straight out. It was like a big old nice bowl of Campbell's soup. It was
Do they
awesome.
get wimpier as the season go on? Do they get just like us? Like, I'm tired. By the time like September rodeos get there, are they a little less wanting to get out of the chute there?
Well, they're a little less, but they start to be able, I think, to read the Cowboys a little bit. And the Cowboys know then what to expect. Mm-hmm. And so they kind of know the draw and they kind of know. But Dawn brings them. I'm thinking if they're getting chute sour, Dawn's like, okay, well, we're going to leave you home to think about it for a week and we're going to bring 2 more.
There you go, yeah.
A very consistent group of horses. And John Dixon and Tad Bell judged that rodeo, and it was a tough rodeo. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was 19 teams that were pretty well tough.
That's a big one, 19 teams.
Mm-hmm. And all. I
think usually the average is somewhere 14, 15. I think most having you guys in here over the last year now. Depending.
Mm-hmm. But this rodeo, I mean, they all came with their powder dry, and they were hitting it on all cylinders.
Well, and they do other stuff up there too, don't they? Besides, they do just like you guys do, don't they? They bring in like people can go shopping, and they bring in some sort of trade expo type thing, and
Yes, sir. And so there was some of our vendors there that participate with us that live in that area, right? And then they started off with a ranch horse competition at 8 a.m. Then they rolled into the Junior Ranch Rodeo Association. So all our little spuds that are job security, I call them, they were all entered in the same kind of events that take place with their parents in that evening.
Right.
They were mimicking them. So
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
It'd be a lot of fun.
And it was definitely romper room that morning.
Yeah, man.
Who's got results then?
Lehman's got the results.
Lehman's the official. Oh, you got more? You got stories?
No, I'm
You got stories. We want to hear stories.
You want to hear a story? Well, let Lehman talk about points, and we'll do.
Geez, I get the fun stuff, huh? Actually, this is fun because we get to talk about
Oh, I got stories.
We can talk about our guys and our gals that are up there. It's pretty cool stuff. This rodeo, if you were at championship last year or if you were paying attention post-championship, we're going to talk about a couple of ranches that are going to sound familiar. Our reserve world champion last year at the World Championship won this rodeo, won Claremore, Haywire Cattle Company out of El Dorado, Kansas. Andy, Callie, Randy, Justin, Jake, and Clint. Congratulations to those guys. We're going to talk to Andy here in just a little bit. They won Green Country and get the invitation to the World Championship. Then our world champions from 2018, they finished second place at Claremore, Beechner Brothers Livestock. And then third place was Barron Highsmith and Short Ranch. That's going to sound familiar because that group of folks actually won Claremore last year. So you've got three highly competitive, very good ranches that
it's tough.
Placed first, third
all the
in this deal.
competition there, right? Yeah.
It was a tough rodeo, and darn it, we don't get to talk to Willie this morning. Oh, gosh darn it!
We can call him just for the heck of it.
He's all pumped up because OU, the Heisman, the draft thing.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about.
I'm sure you wouldn't.
Casey.
Sure you wouldn't. But
You don't want to talk about one school getting two Heismans back to back, two first round
Denver
draft
Broncos.
picks, two first.
No, we don't. We don't need to talk about Kyler Murray.
Well, I don't know these people, but Willie was pretty excited, being an OU fan that he is. So sorry everybody for that.
We are not allowed. We can talk about New Mexico, but we are not allowed to talk about OU.
Well, the Lobos and the Aggies are not even in the draft.
Sorry. Well, that was the point.
They're in the dungeon.
That was the point.
I sent my UT fan a picture of Kyler Murray, and they told me to go away. And I said, well, they've got two Heismans in a row and two first draft, number one picks in a draft. Just thought since UT didn't have a draft pick in the first round, I thought you'd want to see what one looked like.
Good point. You can harass TU all you want to. It's not going to bother me any.
Are you A&M? You want to go to A&M?
Yeah. I'm not going to say that we did have 7 picks in the draft, but, who's counting? Anyway, okay.
Third rounds are pretty good for some schools.
Does not matter what round they went in. Get it straight, Craig.
Do you guys know Andy Jones is probably freezing? Standing in the rain.
Oh, yeah.
We got Andy to. Well, before we call Andy, we're going to continue to talk about Haywire Cattle Company just for a minute. We do individual awards in addition to the team stuff, our top hand and our top horse. Pretty special moment. Justin Peterson, who was the top hand at the World Championship, Ranch Rodeo 2018 on Haywire, this young man walked away with both of those awards.
That's cool, yeah.
He walked away with the top horse. He rode Power to You and Me. Really nice sorrel gelding. I was talking to Andy Jones yesterday, stepdad, and he's just bragging on this horse. I can't wait for Justin to get to talk about that horse when we interview him. So thanks to AQHA for sponsoring the Top Horse Award. And then he also won the top hand.
Right.
What a prestigious set of honors for that young man. And thanks to Wrangler and Twisted X also is supporting these awards this year. So we just really appreciate everybody that supports us. And in case of that, Justin Peterson, these guys better watch out for him for several years to come.
He's so aggressive on that bronc in the first round, I think, on Friday night. He was in the first set. I mean, he's just hungry. He's just hungry. But it was funny when we were giving him the Shannon Adcock that is on the committee for Claremore. She was handing him the top horse trophy. And he's a good-looking little sorrel horse. And he's like, well, he's really not that broke yet. And we're all running at him with all these prizes and stuff. And so we almost had a baby at this rodeo. I just have to give a shout out, and I hope everything's okay with Frank Morton off of Snyder XIT. He drug his wife from the Protection, Kansas area over up to Claremore, and she, bless her heart. Margot, I hope everything went great. Best of luck to you, but oh my gosh, I would have killed my husband. Frank?
Now tell the story, though, about how they didn't want the little booger to be born in the state of Oklahoma.
No, they didn't. So they drove as fast as they could back to Wichita as fast as they could.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and you can't stop nature. It's a coming whether you want it or not.
Pretty funny.
And if you knew,
I just pictures. Hold on, baby, hold on.
yes.
You can make it. Honey.
And Frank is so dang quiet. He was like, "Yes, ma'am, Margot, we're going." And and she's so nice and reserved too. She's like, "Frank, hit the gas, boys. We're coming home. We're coming in hot.
Escort, yeah.
We're coming in hot."
That's funny.
But anyway, great weekend, great families. It's even though it didn't kick off the season, Wickenburg kicked it off. This felt to everybody that it did. It felt real homey. It's good to have that connection where heritage and tradition is very seen down there with everybody involved. Lester makes sure to make that happen with the crowd. They know the stories. And bang up job.
You want to get Andy?
Yeah, let's get Andy on the phone. Texas 95.7. Andy's on the phone. We got Andy on the phone. I almost see you messed me up off the air. These two cracking me up, man. Andy's on the phone. I was starting all over again.
Yeah, we've already done that. Craig.
Andy, how are you? Heard you got a lot of rain up
good.
there.
I'm good, sir, and yourself?
I'm all right. Just kind of listening to you guys cracking up here in the studio. Plenty wet up there from what I understand.
Yes, sir. Plenty wet, but awful blessed, and we're tickled to have it.
Yeah.
Well, you're tickled to have it, but I'm going to say, well, Callie, I'm sorry that Andy made you cook breakfast this morning. Can you edit that out, Craig?
No,
Darn it. God, I love this family. So that rodeo, Andy, was pretty tough, don't you think?
Yes, ma'am.
So they came out and won. I think it was like 212 points. And then Beechner was behind him with 199. And that just came, Andy, what's your thoughts? That pretty much came all the way, because Friday when I talked to Andy, we were both kind of like, I don't know, this is kind of wide open, Snyder XIT Ranch were teeing it off pretty good. And it just goes to show how much can change in just one event, 3 teams ahead of you, change on the cattle that you draw. And then here comes Haywire with their powder dry coming in on Saturday. But they couldn't relax, right, Andy?
No, ma'am. We kind of talked about it just a minute there before we started Saturday night. And said, well, it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. It just matters what we're doing. And still got to go fast and stop the clock.
Yes, sir. Well, and
because there was 18 other teams down there that had the same idea in mind.
I was about to say, they were hot on your tracks. When they were rolling the first broncs, you could see it in Justin's, you could see it in his eyes that he was just eager to get stuff done, so he can move on to the next event. And every one of those bronc riders, because we've seen it come down to the bronc riding. We've seen it come down to the calf branding. Events that are the crowd pleasers like the bronc riding, is it can play a very, very important factor into that 1 point or a re-ride even. And those, Don Reno did bring them, huh?
Yeah, I tell you what, that was I was just talking to somebody about that yesterday. I don't remember who it was, but that was a tough bronc riding down there.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the guys that were there, there's some guys that can hang it on a bronc.
Yes.
It wasn't no slouch deal by any stretch, and the broncs were even, and
yes,
it was a good set of broncs.
It made us happy.
That's easy for me to say when I'm not the one crawling on them.
Well, I don't know. You could see it. Yes, and the ones riding the broncs are, youth is amazing. We'd see him get flipped up. I really thought Northcutt broke his leg Saturday night, but he just, go on with it. But hats off to Jake, your other son. He was in the right place at the right time in the sorting. And your team and Callie included in on this, and Clint. But you guys are gelling. You've got this behind you. You're going to continue on, right? Get some practice licks in before you come championship?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Lehman, do you have anything for Andy? I mean, I could talk all day with Andy.
See, I got to talk a little bit with Andy yesterday, and so two things I want to throw out there. You give a little background on Justin's horse he was riding, and then just talk about your feelings and your pride level in being able to do this, with family, and what that means to you guys, Andy.
Where do you want me to start at, with the horse or the?
Yeah, talk about that gelding for just a minute.
That is if I remember right, he's an own son of Power Proof that Justin bought as a colt there that it had. I mean, they had started that horse, and Justin kind of went on and finished him, and that horse is a powerhouse, and we never go anywhere where that horse doesn't get recognized by everybody, cowboys, crowd, all of it. And the funny thing is, we were sitting there before that awards ceremony Saturday. Justin was standing there beside me, and we had a pretty good inkling that Justin, probably was in the run-ins for top hand. And I told him, I said, you're going to have to quit winning top hand if you want to win top horse, because generally those don't go to the same guy. Mm-hmm. And then I get to eat my words, and was glad
you did
to do
eat
it.
them.
But that horse is always on point. We know we can always count on him. That horse is phenomenal, hands down.
And yeah, he's really
done a nice
fun.
job with him.
Sorry, Andy, I walked all over you on that.
That's okay.
He's really fun to watch work.
He is. There's not a lot of ranch horses that move like that horse does.
Yeah, he was fun to watch. And it's funny, in the sorting, well, it's not funny. It's kind of a neat team build-up. Here comes Jake, and then there comes Callie's horse. And we like them big in New Mexico, right? We like those horses, just like the one Callie's riding. And here comes Jake coming in. He was like a casted shadow. And that little horse was so quick. He was all gathered everywhere that big old horse couldn't be. It was like a perfect. Yep. Andy, it was kind of cool. He was getting ribbed on that when we were taking the team photo.
Sure, Jake needs a little ribbing anyhow.
He does. He does. It's starting to come out of his shell.
He wouldn't know what to do if somebody wasn't ribbing on him.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you say that Justin sold that gelding, and then and we're not going to name names, but the horse was just too much for him, so Justin was able to get him back.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a matter of the horse was too much, or if he just didn't quite fit him, or exactly what the deal was. But Justin had a chance to get him back and got him back, and has really, really done a nice job with him. And that horse is one of a kind. He's one that you'd have a hard time ever replacing.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals that are really neat, Andy. It's especially with ranch horses and cowboys. Women is included in that definition when I say that. But Justin's young, the horse is young, and they're just going to be gelled together, and it's going to work for them. And he's
had a lot of opportunity to sell that horse, and
I'd hold on to him.
All of us are extremely tickled that he hasn't.
I bet.
Oh, the youth of today. That's exactly right. We're all tickled that he still hasn't.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
the heck of it is, a lot of times he doesn't really get to show that horse in front of a cow when you get him in a one-on-one situation. And that's where that horse is so much fun to watch.
Yes.
When you get him one-on-one in front of a cow. But that horse is so important to us on the line.
Yes.
Because that horse can run sideways faster than most horses can get in front.
I witnessed it with my own eyes.
It is so important to have him on the line that there's not a lot of times he really gets a chance to show that horse one-on-one.
Well, my goodness. Remind me never to bring my stick up to your house. I think I'll just walk and work the chutes.
That's awesome.
You're welcome,
that's awesome that Justin's having that success, and that just flows right into that second part we were talking about. Just we're so proud of everything that you guys are accomplishing as a unit. For him to get that individual recognition is really cool. But Andy, talk a little bit about what competing in WRCA means, but then also now, getting qualified again and having that chance to do this with, a lot of family members.
That's the best part of it all. And that's probably the most important thing to all of us. I guess I shouldn't speak for Jake and Justin, but I would hope that they would agree. I'm going to tell you on the air that they'll agree.
They agree.
Nevertheless, that it is by far, hands down, the most important part, and the part that makes you beam with pride more than anything in the world. And we're so very blessed on so many levels. This year kind of started off a little rough in a place or two, and we got everybody healed up, and we're off the ground and running now.
Well, I'm glad you're healed up, Andy. And there's 2 little girls they got that are just going to come right in. And here in about a couple of years, they're going to tell Jake and Justin, move over, boys. It's our turn. So I don't know how you're going to fight that battle.
I might just step out of the way and let the 4 of them have it. They'd probably be better off that way.
They are hungry, too. They see what is going on, and they're looking at that, and they're seeing, and Justin and Jake are real good with them, and they include them, and it's just a neat thing to witness. You can't explain it with words. You have to witness it with your own eyes to get what we're saying.
I was telling Lehman yesterday, we were on our way down there Friday, and Jake turned 18 at the finals down there last year, so we had his birthday party there in the hospitality room.
Yes, thank you for the
So
cake,
we're, I don't know, 10 or 15 miles outside of Claremore, and Kendall and Lacey are in the back seat, and Kendall said, "Dad, we want to have our birthday party in Amarillo this year." Callie's like, "Gee, Dad, no pressure there."
No,
the whole rodeo, I got that in the back of my mind thinking, how am I going to explain this to 2 6-year-olds that you don't just get a guaranteed spot in Amarillo?
Oh, yeah, you don't. You just say, okay, make it work.
Well, you made it happen, bud. You're coming back. We're excited to have you and the whole crew down. It's going to be a good time come November.
Real quick, before
we greatly enjoy it and honored to get the chance every time.
Real quick before we go, Andy, how much respect do these guys have? When we were doing the awards, Calvin, Kendall, Cody, teams, Willie came up, all the teams, Armando came up, and they were just congratulating him. That's what you want to see.
Sure.
When things happen like that, they want to see that.
That is really, and I know it's this way everywhere across all those rodeos, but in the circle of the rodeos that we travel to up here, you talk about just an incredible bunch of guys. Hats off to the Beechners and the Calvin boys and Willie and Baron Smith and all those guys. I mean, they are great, great guys, and we feel very fortunate that we got along just a pinch better than they did down there, and that to take absolutely nothing away from them, those guys will beat you every time that you give them a chance to do it. Oh,
it came down. I mean, it came down to, and that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes the sport.
I told Lehman yesterday, all in all, with as many points as there are available at that rodeo down there, that 11 or 12 point spread between us and Beechners was not just a great big spread.
No, it's not.
And Calvin, when he shook my hand and said congratulations, I wanted to say, Calvin, I hate it, but I have been in your position.
Yes, you have. Not too long ago.
Exactly. And I'm sure that there'll come a day that happens again.
Yes, because now they're all hungry,
Mm-hmm.
And you get to sit back and tune on it, and your feathers in your hat. Jackie Perkins says, "Well, dang it, Andy Jones can't be at Coffeyville again."
I know it.
Everybody's rooting for everybody. And that's what gives you goosebumps at the end of the day. Everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Everybody. So good job. Tell Callie I said hi. Tell the team I said hi. I hope Justin can fit through the door. I hope wherever he's going and walking, he can get through the door. Tell him I'm kidding.
Oh, heck. I wouldn't. Casey, I'd just keep ribbing it to him.
I do. And now Jake's kind of starting to get in on the humor side.
Yeah.
Andy?
Yeah, well, I told Callie November will be here before we know it.
It will
We
be.
sure got a lot to do between now and then.
Thanks for the reminder.
We'll get those hotel rooms straightened up, by the way.
Yes, sir. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, you bet. We'll take care of it
Let
today.
us know.
Hey, man, congratulations again. Tell everybody hi for us, and we'll be talking as we get closer to November.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great day.
Bam, bam, Kay. See you later.
Thanks.
All right. Goodbye.
He's a good guy. What a good guy. Andy Jones. Appreciate him for,
He's a one
for
in
coming
a million.
on. Yeah.
You know, and anybody who would have won Claremore, we could sit and say the exact same thing after they're off the air. And it's nice to see.
Uh-huh.
And it's nice to go somewhere where you have respect. Really tidbit real quick. So the Green Country Classic Ranch Rodeo has their police officers from Claremore. And all the little kids wore them out.
Yeah.
Wanting to talk to him, wanting to do this. Hey, officer. And one was named Will. I don't know how we all found that out, but Corey Rickard's boy found out that guy's name was Will. So Saturday morning, he comes up to me and he goes, Casey, have you seen Will? I was like, no, sir. Who's Will? Yeah. The police officer? And they all have 15 badges on them.
Yeah.
You know, all the kids
Yeah.
are walking around with those stickers.
Yeah.
After the rodeo Saturday, we were all leaving. Cop pulls up by me. I was like, oh, no.
Now
what did I do? He said, I just want to tell you what a relief it is to come to a place where we have faith in the youth again. He said it was the coolest experience. These kids were so naive to the outside dirtiness, you know. They really have respect for people in uniform. And all those kids did. So I found that really neat.
Yeah,
like the
cool.
community saw it too. Yeah. And that's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
That is really, really cool.
Yep. Let's see. You get the whole month of May off for rodeo
Off?
wiles. At
We have
least.
it off?
Yes.
Yeah, we're just going to go
Y'all
sit on
just
the
feel
beach
free
somewhere.
to take May off, just like you did
Cancun?
December,
Should we go to
January,
Cancun?
February.
No, I have like 50 things I could be doing. Wow, right on.
Yeah, we do get a little break here before we come back in June, June 7 and 8.
Rodeo
We'll
wise.
be
Rodeo-wise,
we'll be in Haskell for Wild Horse Parade Days.
Amen.
So if you're listening and you're somewhere in the vicinity of Haskell, Texas, you need to kind of be looking up and maybe get that on your radar. Great event, great community. Looking forward to being back down there in Haskell.
I do believe they have a Facebook page too. If you just search Wild Horse Prairie
Yeah,
Days,
Wild
it should
Horse
pop
Prairie
up there.
Days.
You can find some directions and a
Put
list of events
Prairie
and stuff.
days at the end of that, or you'll think something bad, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a Rolling Stone song.
right. But no, yeah, we're sitting here talking. We get to do this every week. When Casey said it doesn't matter really who wins the rodeo. You could say good things about all of them. And Casey, when she was up there at Claremore, sending back pictures, all the little kids and all the families and the generational type situation that we have within this world it's just pretty awesome. And so we'll lead that into November. That seems like a long way off, but we would love for you guys to come see us at the World Championship. If you've not ever been, we hope you'll make it a trip on your calendar and come see us in Amarillo. Be looking for your hotel situation. Those book up fast. You go on to wrca.org. There's a hotel booking link there, Craig. Mm-hmm. Tell everybody to make sure.
Best one.
Oh, you got to use that booking link.
Get the best prices, and I mean, it's just, man, that's just one of those things. It just makes it so nice that it's all. Actually, I like the whole web page. It just makes it all, especially as it gets closer, because the web page kind of just changes to this championship rodeos coming, and here's it's all like step by step. Click here to get your tickets, and you know it's going to take you to the right place to get your tickets. And click here to get your hotel, and you know it's going to take you to the right place to get the hotel. And then click here for the schedule of events. You just go 1, 2, 3, and you're all one spot.
So easy for yourself.
It is. It's easy.
Is there a kind of a special thing on the hotel booking thing that people need to know?
Well, the thing there is we work closely with the city and all of our local hoteliers. And so, sure, you can go book a hotel outside of there, but you're not guaranteed to get the best rates. So go to WRCA.org and click on that hotel booking link. You can see them all there at one time, compare their rates, and choose the one, that fits you based on location and price. Mm-hmm. So we just encourage you to do that. And Casey, tickets go on sale June 1. That's another important date that's going to be coming up here, in a month or so. June seems crazy, but
that is. It's actually like a month from it. I mean, as we're recording this, it's the 30th, and so a month from tomorrow.
That's right.
Already.
And it falls on a Saturday, and they will be open. Mm-hmm. So, just don't think because it falls on a Saturday that you have to wait through Monday through Friday. No, if it falls on a Saturday, they will open.
And it will be a very, very busy day because they are closed on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So that day will be the first one to jump on and start getting tickets. And we also want to make sure and tell a big thank you to some of our supporting sponsors. Of course, Bud Light is our presenting sponsor of the World Championship. Could not do this without them. Thanks to our friends at Bud Light. And then Titan Fuel Tanks, they help us present our awards and our results each week of our sanctioned rodeo. So appreciate Titan Fuel Tanks, American Quarter Horse Association, Wrangler, Twisted X Boots. Just thanks to all those guys for supporting us. And Casey, we're going to look forward to kind of having a month of May to maybe come back and talk a little foundation, kind of talk about that side of our business and make sure you remember why we do all this in the first place.
Well, at Claremore this year, we had foundation kids there competing, scholarship recipients. So it was good to see them. And did you get that picture I sent you with the Bud Light products with the milk in it?
I did.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Good deal. Good deal. WRCA.org and all those the sponsors you can get on there, and you can actually, there's links to those if you got, maybe you just want to shoot them. One of the coolest things is somebody just shoots you a random email and says, thank you for your support of such and such. So you can actually do that, and they're all listed on there. And go. I would just urge people to go to WRCA.org and just surf around a little bit. You'll find out more about the rodeos and the sponsors and the foundation and who you all are. And if they want to become a sponsor, Lehman's email's on there. You can email Lehman on there. You can become a member. You can go shopping, find some coffee and some shirts. And just go spend a few minutes at WRCA.org and bookmark it and definitely go back in June because it'll all be set up then for the tickets and hotel and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, we got a nice little donation in from Bison Union last week on their deal, on our coffee deal. I think it's like their number one selling roast, the Ranch Hand Blend. So thank you all for purchasing that. I know one of the teams during the silent auction at Claremore, they have the ranch teams donate an item for the silent auction. And Z-Bell Ranch comes in and she got coffee cups and she made their basket for the silent auction with the Ranch Hand Blend coffee. And Tim Z-Bell said it's kind of hard to part with that. But Mama rules, so therefore, whatever she says goes.
That's right. That's
So
right.
thank you, guys.
Good deal. We will catch you guys back in the studio here next week, talking a little foundation. So, there's the turkey call. That's the turkey call. Like auto-tune that into
Craig,
a song.
get back to work, would you?
I'm going to try.
He's strutting around like in a strut.